Hi friend, Stacy Cokes with Beneath the Olive Tree. I'm so glad you're here to learn more about breath work. So I have so much that I can say about the breath, but I'm going to keep it short. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of this and then teach you the yoga breath. But I want you to start thinking about the breath in something far bigger than yoga. So I always like to start with the creation story, right? So when God is creating, He's creating all of these things and He just speaks it into existence, which is amazing, by the way. So God just speaks, let there be day, let there be night. He starts making and speaking the animals into existence. And what does He do when it's time to create man? He creates man in His image. He kneels down. He gets into the dust. He uses His hands and He breathes His very breath of life into us. That is our life source. The very first way in which God intimately said, I'm making you different. I'm making you in my image. So that breath that's in my lungs and your lungs is the very breath of God, that He is reminding us that we are His, that we are unique and that we are special and that we have such great purpose. I know we don't oftentimes think of our breath that way, but we are so busy moving throughout the day. All the while, God is sustaining us with this breath, this life source, that we don't have to do a thing. And so slowing down and taking time to actually focus on your breath, focus on what God is giving us that we take for granted, can just open up so many beautiful opportunities. So I want you to start playing around with this and seeing how you can incorporate the breath into your prayers, into moments when you're feeling stressed out, or just when you need to read scripture. And there's so many different ways that using focused breath can actually really deepen your appreciation and your worship of the Lord. So it goes far, far beyond yoga. But for yoga, it's super important because breath and movement are connected. So the word yoga means to yoke. And so the very essence of yoga is you're not just doing poses, you're not just breathing, they are yoked together, they are one, and they create this beautiful marriage together. And so it's important to really focus on the breath from the very beginning of class all the way until the end. So the type of breath that we're going to do is a life breath. It is an energizing breath. And you might hear it called an ujjayi breath or a pranayama breath if you're ever in a standard yoga class. Doesn't really matter the name of it, it just matters that you do it. So we're going to go ahead and learn that right now. So I'm sure you all have been there before. Fogging up a mirror or cleaning off your sunglasses. What is it that you do? Right? We have that breath. That is the type of breath, the type of exhalation, that force that you have behind that, that is the type of breath that you're going to do on the exhalation. But instead of having an open mouth, you're going to close the mouth. So it goes like this. So there's almost like a little constriction in the back of your throat. Easiest way, like I said, to think about it is as if you're about to fog up a mirror, clean your sunglasses, but just try to close your mouth instead. The inhale is in through the nose and it's long and it's full all the way in. So sit in a comfortable position if you're not there yet. Seated, you could be lying down, you could be in your car, it doesn't really matter. So big inhale all the way, fill it up. Exhale, let it out through the nose. Feeling that constriction on the back of the throat, like I said. So another thing I want to talk about is the belly. So I'm going to turn to the side for a second. A lot of times when we inhale, we're just inhaling very shallow, right here in the lungs. But if you can really practice allowing the belly to soften and allowing it to rise on the inhale. So watch on my inhalation. I'll do my best here. So on the inhale, see how my belly I'm not pushing it out. I'm allowing the breath to fill my lungs so much that the diaphragm is pushing down and just letting my belly come out. So it kind of goes out on the inhale, back in on the exhale. So if you want to put your hands on your belly and just notice, because this isn't something that we naturally do. So just take a moment to figure out where you're at with that. If you are a belly breather or if you're still breathing up here in the lungs. This is something that you can always work on and expand on as you expand the belly more. So again, inhale, exhale with force. Inhale, exhale with force. One more time. And that, my friend, is a yoga breath. You'll use that throughout your entire class. I lead you through that. And so when we talk about the inhales, a lot of times when we're rising, we're filling up, and then on the exhale, we're letting it go. And the whole while, remember, the focus is what? That we are God's, that He intimately created us with this beautiful breath, that He breathes life into us, and that He is sustaining us day in and day out with that breath, and that we should take time to slow it down, to focus, and to worship and thank Him for who He is and what He does. I hope that this was helpful, and I look forward to teaching you more about the basics of Holy Yoga.